Welcome to this guide to look at the new greenhouses on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be diving into the wonderful and wacky world of greenhouses today. And you might think, we've had greenhouses, and we have, but it's FS25 and these are new greenhouses with new crops and extra different types of greenhouses. Now, we've had a lot of modded greenhouses on FS22, of course we have, but this is base game stuff. I'll be looking at the prices of them, the slot counts of them, the different crops, how long it takes those crops to grow inside the greenhouses, and a couple of the onward productions that use those crops and what they produce. And I've already made a couple of notes. I've made some notes from FS22 because base game FS22, 3 greenhouses, small, medium, large, tomatoes, lettuce and strawberries. What was interesting on FS22, and obviously it depended on mods and how things happen, but the base game stuff, the recipes stayed the same, but the cycles per month were what changed between the small, medium and large. On 25, it's split. It's very interesting. Like I say, whether you'll find it interesting or not, I don't know, but we'll get to have a look at some of the stuff being produced and, like I say, the time taken. Slot count's also interesting, and again, this comes off the back of, well, me testing it and me looking at it now, but also when DJ Goham did a video, because a lot of people have been talking about on console, it's really bad. Slot count's been reduced from 4,400 down to 3,500 for the amount of things you can have per map. However, the slots required per thing seem to have halved, if not less. So technically, even though we've lost potential slot count space on each map, we could potentially have double the amount of stuff if the slot counts are half. Does that make sense? Should do, I hope so. So on Farming Simulator 22, a small greenhouse was 7 slots, medium was 7 slots and a large was 8 slots. 3,000, 5,000 and 10,000 to buy. Fair enough. That's our base. That's FS22. So FS25, we'll have a look, shall we? If we go into build mode, we come up to our factories screen. That's the one we want to go to. Come up and then we go across to our greenhouses. So now, rather than just the 3 base game ones, we've got 9, 10, including the rice sapling. We'll have a look at the rice sapling one as well. So slot counts on these, like I say, quite incredible really. Our rice sapling greenhouse, 3 grand, 1 slot, that's all. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to place one of each. I'm trying to put them down in a sensible location. Let's go kind of there. So that's our rice one. So you can buy rice sapling pallets if you want to, but if you're going to grow your own rice saplings for doing rice, this is what you need. It's not particularly fast. We'll have a look at the recipes and cycles in a minute. It's interesting, like I say. If we go from there and we go to our first of our greenhouses, we've got tarp greenhouses and we've got glass greenhouses. So we've got small, medium and large, but the prices compared to FS22, like I said, 3 grand, 5 grand and 10 grand, we start at 9, 18 and 36 grand for the small, medium and large. So we're going to place a small. Slot counts on these, as you can see, small is 3. We'll place that one just there. Now you have to move away. If I leave it, my thing there, and go on to the next one, it thinks I want to delete the one that's there. Look, it'll say, do I want to rename it? I mean, that's fairly standard, but just to make sure. So our medium, we're going to put just there. Then come off that. Go to our large. Oh, what was the medium? The medium was 1 slot anyway. And the large is 4 slots. So again, compared to 7, 7 and 8 on 22, the slot counts are lower. Now, you may argue the detail is not as good. It depends how you feel about it. Then we move on to our glass greenhouses. Now, they do the same crops, and the recipes and cycles per month, interestingly, are exactly the same. Just a different style, and they're a little bit more expensive, as you can see. Rather than 9, 18 and 36, we've got 13,500, 27 grand and 54 grand. So the greenhouses are a bit more of an expensive proposition. Again, once we start getting modded stuff, that price is going to come down. And this is at the time of recording. This has happened a lot of times before. Streams I've done and videos I've done already pre-release. There was another update to come because I was playing on version 1.2.0 and there's 1.2.1 now is the current version. that as giants release more things, if things get altered, adjusted, changed, tweaked because they're finding glitches, problems, people are reporting stuff, at the time of recording, this is true. Moving forward, you might watch this video in 6 months' time and say, well, hang on, that's not right anymore. It might not be, but for the time being, this is what we got. So, small greenhouse, glass, 2 slots. Quite incredible, really. Put that one there. Not that really matters, but medium, 27 grand and 3 slots. Put that one there. And now a large one, 54 grand and 3 slots. Put it just there. So that's our standard greenhouses with our standard crop types. When I say standard crop types, you might be new to the game, you might not have seen any of the content and stuff, pre-release, pre-launch, pre-embargo lift, all that kind of stuff. We have got some new crops, products that we can grow in the greenhouses. Then we go from there to mushroom greenhouses as well. We've got a small, a medium and a large. 9 grand, 18 grand and 36 again. So the small one, this one is 2 slots. For 18 grand the medium is 1 slot, which is crazy really. And then the large one, 36 grand and 4 slots. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty impressive, I have to say. I mean, that's just me, I'm just saying. I think it's pretty impressive on the slot count already. Let's have a look at the greenhouses. So these are our top greenhouses, polytunnel ones. Now, I'm not too sure if this does wind or not. Doesn't look like it gives us the option to. That's a pity. That would have been quite cool if the sides did roll. I think on the mushroom one, the smallest one has got the option to roll them up as well. But if we go inside, we open our door. And this is no different to greenhouses we've had before, but this is our rice sapling one. And you see the recipes here for our rice saplings. We've got 48 cycles per month, which is not a lot, and a 3-to-1 ratio. So for every 3 of water, whatever that, let's say 3 litres, we get 1 litre of rice. I mean, that's just, you know, it's a 3-to-1, so you're losing out on the deal. You've got to put far more in. What's interesting is the outgoing products. It's only saying 500 litres, but I think that's per pallet because it will store them outside. You're not keeping hold of that. And we have got the option as well, if we go across on all of these, all the productions, the same as I said before, storing. That's turning on, change output mode, storing, selling or distributing. So as we get more and more production, you can distribute these things onwards if you don't want to go again through the hassle of moving pallets. That's entirely up to you. So that's our rice sapling one. You would grow the rice saplings over the course of the year between your first planting, harvesting and then your new planting. So you've got a year to grow them technically. That's fine if you're running seasons. If you're not running seasons and you can plant and harvest whenever you want, that potentially could slow you down, or you might have multiple ones because there's only one size rice sapling greenhouse. So small tarp. Actually, what I can do, I mean, these are the same. Like we go in, manage production is just in there, which is the same on each of them. Let's have a quick look at the glass, and then we'll go into the menu. We'll have a look at more. I have to say, I like the detail on these. It's very, 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 very cool. So a small, medium and large on those. Then the mushroom greenhouses. Water to the back. Yeah, this one, let's have a look here at the windy hand at the front. It's certainly not giving me any option coming up top left in my help window. No. Maybe it will do it automatically. I don't know, maybe. So if we come into here, and our mushrooms are something a little bit different now. Now I keep saying gnocchi. Is that right? Gnocchi? And oyster mushrooms are our ones here. Now, the mushroom greenhouses differ to the other greenhouses, and this I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if a different team worked on them. It's a curious one, and like I say, in delving into the detail, it's what I'm kind of finding interesting. Again, you might not care, but recipes and cycles per month are what gauge the speed of growth. You'll see when you get modded stuff, especially on FS22, if it has very high cycles per month, you'll find the products will produce much quicker. But often you can have high cycles but a low recipe. So if it was a 1-to-1, that recipe's still going to take a long time. If the recipe's 1,000 to 1,000, you're going to get your products quicker. You combine a high cycles per month with a high recipe, and you're getting products coming out at quite a rate. What's interesting here is, like I said, on FS22, the recipe stayed the same. Tomatoes were a 1-to-1, lettuce were a 2-to-1, and strawberries were a 1-to-2 on the recipe. It was the cycles per month that changed between small, medium and large greenhouses. The larger the greenhouses, the faster they produced. That was the point. What's interesting on here, and if we go into this menu, and we want to go, oh, we're on the right one, aren't we? Anyway, so on our left here, we've got our production chains owned. We've got our greenhouse for rice saplings at the top. And what's interesting is it's bunched them into small, medium and large. So we've got our small tarp, small mushroom, small glass, medium tarp, medium mushroom, medium glass. And what you'll notice on the standard greenhouses, so the small tarp and the small glass, if we look at the first one and we go across, you'll see that on our chili peppers, our cycles per month are 528, garlic is 720, lettuce 1008, Napa cabbage, so these are the extra ones, chili peppers, garlic, Napa cabbage, lettuce we had before, spring onions 336, strawberry is 528, and tomatoes is 1056. So that's your cycles per month. They're not particularly high, but they're okay, not too bad. And then if you look at the bottom there for tomatoes, the recipe down there is a 1-to-1. So our tomatoes and our strawberries and our lettuce are the same as they were on FS22 for their recipes. 2-to-1 for lettuce, strawberries are 1-to-2, and tomatoes 1-to-1. So those recipes are the same. The recipes for the other ones on here, we've got a 3-to-2 on the chili peppers. Garlic is a 3-to-1.5. So you're kind of losing half, technically. Napa cabbage a 2-to-1.5, and spring onion a 1.5-to-3. So you can start gaining more. So if we go then to the small glass greenhouse, you'll notice that the cycles per month are exactly the same. 528, 720, 1008, 672, 336, 528, 1056. If I go to the medium tarp greenhouse, the cycles per month, 528, 720, 1008, 672, 336, 528, and 1056. So on all of the standard greenhouses, whether it's the tarp or the glass, small, medium, and I'll go to large. I'll show you the large tarp greenhouse. There we are. Go to our cycles per month. 528, 720, 1008, 672, 336, 528, and 1056. So it's not the cycles per month that change on the greenhouses in FS25. It's the recipes. So the reverse of FS22 on the standard greenhouses, which is an interesting one. You also notice there on here, it tells you how much water it will take, tells you your outgoing production space, so once you've got them outside, how much they will back up inside. So it's, yeah, cycles per month stay the same, recipes change. So at the moment we're on the large tarp greenhouse. If we go down on our strawberries, we've got a 4-to-8. If we go to our spring onion, we've got a 6-to-12. Napa cabbage an 8-to-6. So it's the recipes that are different, not the cycles per month. So the other way around. But here's where it gets really confusing. Just to throw the cat among the pigeons on this, it's not for the mushroom greenhouses. If we go to our small mushroom greenhouse, so in gnocchi there, it's showing 204 cycles per month, recipe 1-to-5. Oyster mushrooms, 168 cycles per month, recipe of 1-to-3. Brilliant. Let's go to the medium mushroom greenhouse and have a look. So, cycles per month 408, that's different, that's gone up. Oyster mushrooms 336, that's gone up. But what has stayed the same is the recipes. So this is the other way around, like it was in FS22. So like I say, I don't know whether a different team worked on the standard greenhouses and the mushroom greenhouses were done separately. I'm not sure why they're the reverse. It's just odd. But anyway, yeah, so with the mushroom greenhouses, if you go to the large one now, the large mushroom greenhouse, you'll notice there, our cycles per month, 816 and 672. Recipes stay the same, 1-to-5, 1-to-3, but the cycles per month are different. So what we're going to do is we're going to put water in all of them. What I'm thinking of doing, because we've got the extra, the new crop types, I might not do it for the mushrooms, but I'm going to do it for the standard ones. So chili, garlic, Napa and spring onion. I'm going to put in 4, I'll do medium greenhouses. We'll go mediums. Just as a test, I'm curious to see if you have a greenhouse and you just run one crop in it. If I'm just running chili peppers, will you get more chili peppers out per month than if I decided I was going to run chili peppers, garlic, if I decided I was going to do all of them? I'm going to set them all running. Will I get less per month if I've got them all running, or will I still get the same amount of each one? does that make sense? It'll make more sense as we move forward. So I'm going to put 4 greenhouses in. One will just run chili peppers. One will do garlic. One will do Napa cabbage. And one will do spring onion. All of my other ones, I'm going to have them running everything. And when I say everything, I'm not doing strawberries, tomatoes, and lettuce. We've seen them. We've done them. We can see what's happening here. The recipes are the same as they were. So we're not going to touch those. We're going to leave them as they are. That's the plan. I'm just going to do the other one. So I'll have all 4 running on all of the others, and we'll see how long it takes. And then we'll also see, we can have a look at how much water they're going to take. As we can also see here, small tarp greenhouse will take 10,000 litres, small mushroom greenhouse 2,000, small glass greenhouse 10,000. The medium tarp is 20,000. Same with the glass. Large tarp is 40,000, so it doubles each time. Yeah. And then obviously for our mushroom greenhouse, large is 7,000 litres, medium is 4,000 litres, and the small was 2,000 litres. So I'm going to get a load of water into all of these. I'm going to add those 4 extra ones in. We'll set them all off and running, and then we'll skip ahead months. And we'll see how long it takes to produce different things, what those pallets look like when they come out. And then what we're also going to do is look at the productions that take them. We've got various different ones that take the mushrooms, various different ones that take the other things. There's the canning factory. I don't know if we've got a small canning factory, but we'll have a look at the productions in a little while as well. So I'm going to just spend a bit of time now putting some water in. I've got my electric Volvo. Good for the greenhouses. Keeps everything nice and fresh. Now I have encountered with some animal pens, they won't take water from the tanker, they'll only take it from smaller ones. I'm going to have to refill this a few times. I can't wait till we start getting some modded stuff out, because what I'm finding is the tanker takes a long time to refill from the standard water point. We need some better water points. We'll get them soon. So as you can see, I'm going to carry on with this. I'll put the other 4 in as well, and then what we'll do, we'll go through, we'll set them all off and running, and we'll see how long it takes to get some products. We'll have a look at those products and what we can do with them. Well, I'm not going to lie, that took a while. Just keep saying, because we've got a standard water tank, and we've got the standard tanker, 32,000 litres. It's just taken a while. It's a, you know, bearing in mind the larger ones, these take 40,000 litres. That's more than one of those. It's taking ages to fill that up. But we're there now. So rice saplings. Let's get those going, shall we? We're now running, apparently. Rice saplings, 0 litres. We're on, I need to speed up time, obviously, but let's get that done. Close the door on that. Now, I could do this from in the greenhouses. We can do it from the main menu. We know that. But so we're going to do all of them on here. So we're going to do chili peppers, garlic, Napa cabbage, and spring onions. So what I'm going to see is with all 4 of those running on each of the greenhouses, will I get the same amount out as if I run them individually? So after the same amount of time, will I get a full pallet of chili peppers? Will that come out the same time as a greenhouse that's just doing chili peppers? Grassroots, layman's terms, play the game, test some stuff out and see how it goes. So I'm going to get all of these now running with all the various different things. The end ones, I'll put a couple of these on. Do the mushrooms. I've got all the other ones set up. Do the mushrooms. Why doesn't my brain say to do the Bartman? Don't know why. How bizarre is that? So we can get both of these. I'm not going to do the same with mushrooms. We're just going to do. I like the fact they light up as well. That's pretty cool. In there. So now we've got those running in that one. Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't even look at the rice sapling. Sorry about that. All the other ones. I mean, kind of that was the point, wasn't it? We've got them growing. We should have a look and see what they look like when they are growing. I just backed out the greenhouse, didn't I? I mean, that is. I was just going to say they look. I don't know. There is some dimensionality. As I came side on, yeah, they're a bit thin side on. I was going to say, oh, they look fantastic. They've got real depth to them, but they are. No, that's interesting. They do look a little bit. I say a little bit. They look very 2-dimensional side on, don't they? Anyway, let's have a look at the rice saplings. Okay. We'll see how they progress. through their cycles. And like I say, the end ones, I'm going to put those on. Let's put that torch away. One greenhouse will do each. Do I go front to back or back to front? I've put some gravel down. Why not? I just thought if we're going to have the greenhouses out for a little while, I like the fact there's different sound effects. When you go between them, especially with vehicles, you get a crunch on the tyres when you drive over the gravel and stuff, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So this one is going to be chili peppers. And then we'll speed up time. I'm set on 1 day months. So we'll do a month at a time, see what's shaking, what's cooking. This one's going to do the garlic. Next one will be the Napa. Oh yeah, Napa. Oh yeah, Napa. Again, not quite sure where that came from, but... Right, I'm going to get the rest of them set off and running. Let's jump ahead a month. See what we get, see what they look like, see what the pallets look like, see how long it's going to take us to get anything, to get the first of any product. I'll keep a tally chart of our months. And we'll go from there. That's the plan, and then like I say, we'll have a look at the productions. Actually, we're going to have a look at the productions now before I skip ahead. Let's go into our build mode, and if we go up to our factories. Now, again, depends how many of my videos you've watched. I have kind of talked about this and covered this a few times on videos, but we've got the larger factories. We've also got, if I come into this menu, the one that we've got for our production chains, if we go to the top, and go across then to available, these are the productions that are available on the map already. So they're already out there on the map. So we can look at the productions on the map, we can see what's there, we can look at the cycles per month. There's a canning factory already on the map, which is fine, but we don't own that or anything yet, but it is on the map. If we come into our build mode, we've got our factories here. So we've got our larger factories, and there are some different versions of them in here. What I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure, looking at the productions there, it's only Cooper... rope maker, bakery, tailor, dairy, potato processing plant. I haven't really mentioned that before, but your various different oils, potatoes, you can get crisps or potato chips. Soup factory doesn't take any stuff we want, but this is one. The preserved food factory might do. Is that the same as the canning factory? It's quite expensive. It's a large one. We can put that one down. Is there another one? That might be the same as the canning factory, in all honesty. So before we place that, let's go across one. Soup factory, bakery, spinnery, preserved food factory. That's a small one. Okay, so not canning. Why is it showing? Oh, it doesn't matter. Preserved food factories. That's the larger one. 330,000, 5 slots. Again, not many slots for a factory. Then what we've also got is the smaller farm production versions. Now I haven't actually looked at the difference between the large factories and the small factories. I've had a look at some of the small ones, so we'll go down again until we get to. I'm sure we got one, haven't we? In the small ones. Spinnery, oil mill, grape processing, dairy. There is preserved food factory. So there's our mini preserved food factory. So what we're going to do is whiz over and we'll have a look at. I think that's the same as the canning factory. Let's just go into this one. Canning factory. Canned peas, jarred green beans, kimchi, noodle soup. I'm actually going to have a look because one thing that's intrigued me. Oh, there we go. That's all right. So I was looking at the kimchi and I was thinking, I know kimchi isn't kimchi or cabbage, isn't it? But that actually takes the garlic, the spring onion, and the chili peppers. So to do kimchi, you are going to need all the things that come out of the greenhouse. And then if we come down, I don't think it might just be those. Yeah, because we've got all sorts of other stuff in here. So it's just going to be the ongoing from here will be kimchi. Peas, we can do canned peas, jarred green beans. So at the moment, the only thing other than selling directly, and we'll have a look at the prices for those in a moment as well. Remember, I'm on normal economy. I do all of my stuff on normal economy usually. But so we can do kimchi in the production chain here. And we'll look at the recipes because the recipes, again, I'm making an assumption here because I haven't checked this yet. The recipes between them, or at least the differences between them, should be. I don't think we can open any of the doors here, can we? I don't think so. So let's click on here. So this is our preserved food factory. Yeah, same thing. So if let's go to our kimchi. There are the various different things that can be incoming materials, but as far as our kimchi goes, how are we looking? So cycles per month 240, 2222, and gives us 42 out. So we're doubling our kimchi. That's pretty good. So we get double out, and that's on the large production. So I'm going to make a note of that. 240 for cycles. And then what was it? 22 and 2. 22, 2 and 2 gave us a 42 out. Okay, so that's for the large production. Then the small, now I'm making an assumption here, but it would make sense if we've got for 36 grand, we've got the more farm-based version of the same production. I'm assuming, let's go along, let's go to our kimchi. Yes, so our cycles per month, that's 10 times less. But then the price is almost 10 times less as well, I suppose, isn't it? So we've got 24 cycles per month, so it's going to take far, far longer on here. Now, from what we've seen already on some of the other productions, we've seen on the greenhouses, the recipe is exactly the same. So the recipe remains the same. It's the cycles per month that are different between the different size factories. So our recipe is still 22, 2 and 2 with a 42 out. So that's really the difference. And it's not going to be long before we start getting modded stuff out, but this is base game at the end of the day. So like I said, the difference between the larger factory and our small farm production factory, it's 10 times less cycles per month. So it's going to take far longer to get. But if you're not bothered about time, I like the fact that on FS25 it's a cheaper way to get into running productions. You can have a few of these sat on your farm, and you can do a bit of carpentry. You can do, you'll have your spinnery. You've got, the various different ones that are there, without spending 300 grand on a factory. Because if you haven't got 300 grand, you can get into it, and it will take you longer. Of course it will, but you can get some productions running. You might just decide, you know what, no, I'm going to wait, or I'm going to put in some money, or I'm going to borrow some money from the bank. I'm going to get a bigger factory, and let's run some stuff quicker. As far as putting stuff in, I think when we get some products coming out, I'm going to put some. We should have plenty coming out. I'll put some in both. I mean, it's going to be obvious that's running 10 times slower. So, we're going to get stuff much quicker out of that one than we are out of this one. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now, speed up time. Let's see what they're all looking like. Let's see if we get anything out. Yeah, mushrooms, actually, that's a good point. We were going to look at prices menu as well, weren't we? If we're going to this menu here, go to this one, and this is our prices menu. This is I like the fact as well, and this is alphabetical now as well. I don't know how people feel about that, but it doesn't show you ongoing products. But like Napa cabbage there, around the mid 600s, should I say? We've got oyster mushrooms are sitting at 1636, but they're going to take a little while to produce, I think. What else do we say we've got? Let's have a look. For our kimchi, 1100s, mid 1100s on that. Our lettuce price still pretty good, actually. That's very good for lettuce. What else are we producing? We've got our garlic, low to mid 800s. That's not bad for garlic. So the gnocchi, 789, so high 700s. Like I say, again, I'm on normal economy. That will be different for easy, and that'll be less for hard. Obviously, it'll be higher. Chili peppers, mid to low 800s, not bad. Yeah, so we've got some stuff coming out, but I'm more curious about. I'm assuming. I'm just trying to think of productions. Let's go back into. What menu do I want? This one. I'm sorry. This is kind of while I'm. Let's have a look at these. Biogas plant it won't be. Canning factory. Pump, grain mill, oil mill. Not sawmill, not spinnery, not sugar mill. Canning factory. Is there any recipes here that are requiring mushrooms? Rice, long grain spinach. So why have we got... Am I missing something really obvious? Build mode and factories. Let's go back to the top. Am I missing something glaringly obvious for mushrooms? Otherwise, why are we producing... Not on bakery, not on cement factory, certainly not on that. Not on cereal factory or dairy. Crate processing, no. Grain mill, no. Not on oils, I say obviously. Paper factory, no. Sawmills, no. Spinnery, sugar mill, debris crusher, no. Tailor shop doesn't require mushrooms. The cooper for barrels, the rope maker, no. Bakery doesn't require mushrooms. No. Tailor shop, dairy. No, we're just coming back around the same things. So our mushrooms are literally just selling. There's no production that requires them. That's curious. Anyway, right. I shall speed up time. See you in a month. We should be into April. We will be in April, and let's have another look. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into April. April showers. So we have got rice saplings already. So it was me saying that the recipe was quite low, but I think because the pallets don't take as much. Does that make sense? 180 kilos, 24 pieces. Is that right? Yeah, it must be. So we've got one pallet at the moment. We'll go in and have a look. They're all looking very green and lush now compared to the brown they were looking at before. We haven't used a lot of water, 7%, which is quite nice. We've got 21 litres for the next pallet coming out. They're running nicely. We haven't got anything on the small, the medium, or the large. Oh, hang on. No, we have on the large. I take that back. That's good. So we've got our garlic. And we've got some chili peppers. So the large ones, in a month, we've already got some being produced. That's nice. Now, what I'm curious to see now, like I said, because I'm running 4 on here, I've got one pallet of each of those. The ones over here, where I've got one that's doing, one that's doing each. So one that's got the chilies, one that's got the garlic, one that's got the spring onion. Will I still only have one pallet of each by the side, or will I have more? Because it's that thing of people have always argued, you're better off just running one product in a greenhouse because you'll get more out than if you run all of the products at the same time, because it's, I think the argument is that it takes the time and it spreads it between, the resources get spread between everything. Does that make sense? Let's have a look at our water consumption. 86%, so that's used 14%, so double what the first one was. The small one was 7%, so I'm assuming this is going to be somewhere in the middle for our medium. We'll have a look at our other ones as well. Oh, that's done 14% as well. That's interesting. Oh no, hang on, that was the rice one. Let's double check this. Is this done 14 as well then? Oh yeah, 14%. So the rice one did 7. The greenhouse has done the same, 14%. So it doesn't matter on the size of it. Just use the same amount of water. But obviously 14% of a smaller amount is more water, isn't it? When you think about it. I suppose it all balances out, doesn't it? Maths, not my strong point. Considering I used to teach it, that's good, isn't it? Let's double check on here. Same thing, 86%, so 14% of the water used. How are we running? 251, 257, 240, 240. Okay, so not too bad. So I don't think we've got any mushrooms out yet. Nope, but we'll check on the water and the mushrooms as well. Why not? %9 used. Will it be 9 on the next one as well? Just sort of comparing and contrasting between sizes of greenhouses, but also between the types of greenhouses. That's what I'm finding interesting, because we have got different types now. 10%. I mean, potentially we might have just tipped over, but we'll check this one as well. Left the door open, that's good. 11%, okay. So 9, 10, 11%, so slightly different. Isn't it weird how they all seem to differ? Well, let's go and have a look over here and see where we stand. I like the fact that all the plants have grown up a bit now as well. Ah, right, so here we go. So we are better off running individually. So as you can see, we've got 2 pallets of our chilies here. We've got 2 pallets of our garlic. And we've got 1 pallet each of the others. Whereas on our other greenhouses that are running all 4, we haven't got any of these yet. So that's our Napa cabbage. And our spring honions that should be here. So yeah, I mean, technically, we're on medium greenhouses, to be fair, but our medium greenhouses haven't put anything out yet. So we are better off running individual crops in a greenhouse than we are running them all together. So we have got some product coming out of these already, which is really nice. Like that. So I think when we get into the next month, we're likely, not probably, we're likely to have some stuff out of all of these. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take these over because we've got everything we need, don't we? We've got one of each thing, so we can get some kimchi running. I'm going to put in this factory first. The next month, if we've got all the same again, I'm going to put some into our other one. Now, I'm assuming that's something I didn't think to check. That would be our preserved food factory. What's our capacities looking like? Chili peppers 480 litres, garlic 480 litres, spring onion 480. So on the small one, the capacity for what you're putting in isn't very big. On our preserved food factory, yeah, 10 times bigger, 4,800 litres. So we can probably get one pallet of each into the small one, or probably less than one pallet. When I did the milk the other day, the small dairy only took 500 litres. I took a 1,000 litre milk bottle pallet over, and it took the whole lot, but it only registered 500 litres. So that's going to be that's a bit naughty, actually. You'd think if they're doing it in pallets, it should be set to 1,000 as the capacity, I think, personally. Because if you're going to take a 1,000 litre pallet over there, well, we'll see. I'll bring one over to here. If it takes the whole lot, the 1,000 litre, but only registers as 480, we've lost 520 litres out of a pallet. Now, I don't think these are liftable either. We haven't got super strength on console. It's not even giving me the hand to lift it at all. So, yeah, no option for that. So we'll go and grab my forklift. Not forklift, what did I grab? A telehandler. I was going to put them on a trailer, but actually I'll just use a telehandler. I'm going to try one first over there. Because we've got more of the chili than anything else. I suppose same as the garlic. We'll put one in, then we'll put all the others into the larger food factory and see how we get on. Let's start this up. I'll disconnect from that trailer. Get some lights going. So yeah, no mushrooms yet. I'll take one from here. If you didn't watch my video the other day when I was doing the buildings, what's interesting now as well, there are different palettes, different palette colours. There's a very light brand new looking palette, there's a slightly darker weathered one, and then a real weather beaten looking palette. So this is a 1,000 litre pallet, but the small preserved food factory will only take 480 litres. So if this takes the whole thing, and doesn't leave any on the floor, I've lost 520 litres. So that's a warning, something to be aware of. So it's not taking it off the pallet. If I put the pallet down, right, pallet has gone. Oh dear. And what have we got in there? 480 litres. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Giants, sort that out. Change that to at least 1,000 litres. That has to be changed. I've lost 520 litres off that pallet. What it should have done was taken the 480 and left the pallet sat there, and then just taken what it needed if you want to put more in. But taking the whole lot, I've been ripped off. I've been ripped off. Bear that in mind, ladies and gents. Bear that in mind. So, what I'm going to do now, take these over to the other one. Let's get some kimchi underway, because I'm interested to see on that. See how long it takes us to get our first kimchi on the large factory. Again, I'm not going to put one in the small one. We know it's 10 times smaller, or 10 times slower. Wider on the forks. I'm not going to put you through the rigmarole of watching me load all these up, but now I could go along and do all the same with all of them and take multiple, but I'll just take these to start off with. I'll go backwards and forwards. Let's get these all in. We'll get that running. We'll skip ahead to the next month and we'll see what else we've got come out. I'm glad that I did the testing. So having one crop in each greenhouse works out. I suppose in the long run it will all balance itself out, but if you want to get stuff fairly quickly, it means you've got to have multiple greenhouses, and the fact that the greenhouses are more expensive as well. Oh, hang on, large green. So there's no mushroom. Did I get sidetracked again? Oh, we've got some on the medium and the large. I am so sorry. Making sweeping statements. I went in and had a look, and when I walked past each one I didn't even turn around to have a look. So a medium greenhouse, we have got some already. We got our enoki, we got those in there. I always thought they were shiitakes, but They're just slightly different types, aren't they? Then on our large, in a month, we've got 2 of the gnocchis. Are they 1,000 litre pallets? They are 1,000 litre pallets. That's pretty cool. And 1 of our oysters. I have to say, the detailing on them is fantastic. I mean, leaving the stuff on the pallets. There's been a lot of conversation, actually, in various different forums about console and about the 30 FPS and 60 FPS and what's it running at. People saying that, excuse me, on their version of the game, all of the lettering on the sides of vehicles is blurry. It looks awful. I mean, I've even got down to the detail of raindrops. I'm not on PS5 Pro. I'm standard PS5, and according to mine, it shows that it's running at 60. But according to Giants, it's been set at 30. So I don't understand. So we've got mushrooms coming out already. Just not what the small one yet. That's cool. And we've had a look at seeing what they look like. So the productions are, I mean, obviously it's going to depend how many months, how many days in the month you've set yours at. If you've set yours at 20-day months, it's going to take you 20 days to get this stuff out, you know. So again, that's something to consider when you're doing all this stuff. I'm on 1-day months just because it makes it a lot easier, speeds up the process, and we can have a look and see our kimchi as well. We've had a quick look at the prices. So as far as the mushrooms go, I'm going to have to go in and check all the menus again. Am I losing my mind? Mushrooms are literally just for selling. I thought there would be something you could do with them. I thought there'd be a recipe, or it might be. I mean, I know sell points. If there's a restaurant sell point in the town and that kind of stuff, taking mushrooms there. But I would have thought there'd be a kind of a recipe for something. Even if it was mushroom soup, it seems strange to me. I'm going to go back into this mode because I'm losing my mind. Let's see if we can find... Right, soup factory. No, there's no mushroom soup. That would have been obvious, wouldn't it? Would that not have been an obvious addition? Beetroot, parsnip, potato, carrot and mushrooms. Have a mushroom soup. I mean, come on. Come on now. That to me makes perfect sense. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, let's get these in. I'll see in a minute when I've got them in, and let's get some kimchi underway. The mushrooms I can load up onto a pallet, onto a trailer, I guess, but there's not really much need to. If I'm just going to take them and sell them. But I just wanted to have a look at the greenhouses and also the onward productions for the products from the greenhouses. And we're doing just that. Okay, let's hop out. So I'm done. I haven't done my third burst, have I? Really should have a waterproof jacket on in this weather. I started doing that more when I'm doing Let's Plays and stuff. Depending on the weather, I actually change my clothes. I kind of just got into that habit. Because you never really saw your character, there's not really much point, but there's much more point now. So, let's click on this. So we're going to do our kimchi. No, hang on. Wrong factory, that one. Down. Because I keep forgetting to come across on the menu. Be careful of that. I know, but it's obvious, isn't it? Because I've clicked on this, if I come out of here, if I click on this, it puts me on the correct factory. If you look on the left-hand column. But I'm looking to the middle column, starting to scroll down to kimchi, but I'm still on my first menu, on the owned menu. So scrolling down puts me on the next preserved food factory. That's what I did with the greenhouses. So I've got to make sure I come across onto the menu, to the products, come down to our kimchi, turn that on, because we have got chili peppers, garlic, spring onion, and we have got... What's the other one? Spring onion, garlic, chili peppers... There should be the other one in here. Napa cabbage. Oh yeah, Napa. We only have one pallet of that. Isn't that interesting? So that's only showing... Wow, I just noticed that. So chili peppers will take 4,800 litres. Garlic 4,800 litres. So we had more of those and I've already put one pallet over in the other one. Spring onion 4,800 litres and I've only got one pallet of that. But Napa cabbage, that's why I just didn't notice it because it's still showing red. That will take 48,000 litres. Why is that not 4,800? This is so bizarre. It's so bonkers. Anyway, we have got them all in there. They're all producing now. So we come down. We've already got 3 litres of kimchi. We have got some being produced. Awesome stuff. Right. I will see you next month. We'll see if we've got some kimchi. We'll see if we've got some... well, we should have some other stuff. We should have a load more mushrooms. We'll check on our multi-crop greenhouses. We've already seen that our large greenhouses have produced. Let's see about our mediums and our smalls, and we'll see how much more we've got on our rice saplings. I do like the fact that as they're all growing, they do look very lush, don't they? the colours are very vibrant, which I think is very cool. So see you in May. Let's close the doors. So we're into May. I don't know what's going on with the rain. The rain just doesn't want to stop. It seems to be just constant. So we're into May, 2 months in. We've got some more of our rice saplings, which is absolutely wondrous. 3 pallets now. So they're actually producing quicker than I thought they were going to, which is very cool. Let's have a check on our water situation. Yeah, we're alright. I have to say the greenhouses, they all seem to be doing alright as far as that goes. On our smaller greenhouses that are doing multiples, still nothing. Our mediums, however, we have got some more stuff out. So it seems to be that the chilies and the garlic are producing far quicker on all of the ones. They're the first ones coming out. Our large greenhouses, we've got one of everything now, which is very cool. And that's the same on both. So whether it's the tarp or the glass greenhouses, that's exactly the same. The same for the medium and the same for the small. Still nothing on the small. On our ones that are doing individually, we've got 2 pallets of each. So on those we've got 2 pallets. Our mushrooms, again, that has continued. So our mushroom production is fantastic on the large. Medium, we had some already. But the difference between the normal greenhouses and the mushroom greenhouses, 2 months in, we do have some enoki on the small greenhouse. Very nice indeed. But what's also very cool is we have got some kimchi. I know I've heard of kimchi. I kind of knew what it was. I thought it was fermented cabbage. I've had a look online. So kimchi is a traditional Korean dish of salted and fermented vegetables. Kimchi is typically made with Napa cabbage, which we are producing. There are hundreds of varieties that use different vegetables. Other common ingredients include garlic, tick, spring onions, tick. It does say ginger, we haven't got that. Gochugaru, which is Korean chili powder. So we are doing chilies. And then salted seafood. Jodel? Sorry, I can't say that properly. I suppose if there was salt added into this, that'd be quite cool. But anyway, that being said, let's get this on. Here's our kimchi. So we've got jars of kimchi already. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. I have to say, is that me? I seem to be splashing in water. Listen. Do it. Or is that the factory? Anyway, there's our jars of kimchi that have been produced. So, what I might do, I mean, I say it's probably, I say not pointless. We know in another month. So in a month we've got 2 pallets. So the other one's gonna be 10 times slower. So we would have only, we wouldn't be at 2 pallets yet if we were doing the other one. What same material's missing? What is missing? Oh, it's going to be the 2 that were only 1,000 litres, isn't it? Materials missing, kimchi. What? That makes no sense. Anyway, so yeah, well, I mean, I'm not quite sure what else we need to do now. Go another month. We'll go 1 more month and see if the small greenhouses have produced anything. We can go back into this menu. We can come into this menu as well. You don't have to go to the greenhouses. We can come into this menu and we can go down each one and we can look at how much water has been used, which is generally what you would do. Our large ones have used a fair bit. The mediums, less so. The smalls, less so. But we seem to be getting pretty good production. And again, this will all change once modders start getting hold of stuff. Preserved food factory, that's cracking along quite nicely. Napa cabbage. Ah, that's curious. Oh no, it's not, is it? Because on the recipe, if we go to our kimchi, that's what's missing, isn't it? Our recipe is 20 Napa cabbage to 2 garlic, 2 spring onion, 2 chili peppers. That's why there's a material missing. Because it's using way more Napa cabbage than anything else, and I only had 1 pallet of it at the time, didn't I? So I'm going to get some more of that in there and we'll get that running. But yeah, I mean, in essence, that's greenhouses. I just want to look at the difference between the types, and look at the production speeds, look at the difference between the small, mediums and the large. We've looked at an ongoing production that takes the stuff to make the kimchi, which uses all the stuff, or all the new stuff in here, which is very cool. The things that took lettuce and tomatoes and stuff before, they're the same. And we'll see how all this goes, what productions people can think of that come out that will use all this. I still think mushroom soup is a big omission. I really do think that should have been a thing. But these do look very cool indeed. I'll go 1 more month let's check on the small greenhouses, and that'll be it. That'll be our look at Guide to Greenhouses. Base game greenhouses anyway. Oh, we really do need liftable pallets, or not liftable pallets, but CSZ pack. I mean, to be fair, I'm getting quite au fait with the pallet forks now. I've done so much prep and setup, especially when I was doing my video. If you haven't watched that on the building constructables, because I had to buy pallets and load them onto trailers. That was all forklift work. There was no trickery to that. I've got no super strength. I've got no liftable pallets. It was all done with forklift, and I'm getting quite used to using them again, so it's not too much of a problem. And the other thing I would say as well is it's funny how you go from the end of 22 to the start of 25 and you're missing all of those neat mods that made your life so much easier, that sped up time, that enabled you, you know, if you don't want to speed up time when you're playing your game, that's absolutely fine. But as far as, like, from my perspective, doing mod reviews, map tours, things like this, guide videos, anything that can speed up your time and enable you to set up and prepare a video quicker makes your life easier. I didn't realise how much I was going to miss all of those mods, but I'm sure stuff will start trickling through soon. So I'll see you in 1 more month, and we'll see if the small greenhouses have got anything. We'll have a look and see. Let's open the door here. Actually, we can probably see down the bottom right. 495, 519. If these are all 1,000 litre pallets, it's going to be another 2 months before we get anything on here, because they seem to be doing like a quarter of a pallet per month, so potentially 2. I'll skip ahead time. If it is 2, we will see you in July. If it's 1, I'll see you in June. We are into June, and the only reason I'm stopping in June to show you, I've taken some bits and bobs out. Our small greenhouse is still nothing yet. Everything else is still chugging away, but I may have done the small production for kimchi, well, not the preserving factory. I may have done it a disservice, because when I skipped ahead the first month from April to May, and we had 2 pallets of kimchi, and I said it's going to take ages for the small one to produce any kimchi, so I bought the the Napa cabbage that I had, all of it, and I put that in here. I've skipped over from May to June, and look how much kimchi we've got out here. So rather than 2 pallets, I think it was just because I had so little Napa cabbage in there, it ran out of Napa cabbage. It couldn't produce enough. So it produced all of that. So what I've done now, I've actually put all the products required. So 3 of the products in here will only take 480 litres. So that's still, I've still lost. I mean, this still needs fixing, I think, personally. So we've still ended up losing on this one, in that I've got 480 litres of spring onion. Let's go across. 480 litres of garlic and 480 litres of chili peppers, although I put a 1,000 litre pallet of each in, but this takes 4,800 litres of Napa cabbage, because the recipe requires far more Napa cabbage. So I'm going to skip ahead another month and see if potentially we get a pallet. It may take 2 months to get a pallet, but I just, when I saw so many pallets out there, I suddenly thought, okay, I made a mistake there. And that's on me. I needed to correct it, rather than just let that hang as I only got 2 pallets of kimchi off of the large production. It doesn't, because it requires so much Napa cabbage. I just didn't have enough in there for it to keep running. So 1 more month, and then potentially we'll have some pallets on the small greenhouses. Now, had I been running a small greenhouse with just 1 product in it, not 4, we would have had a pallet out by now. But again, that's something to bear in mind, to factor into your equations. Are you going to run multiple products in each greenhouse, or just 1 per greenhouse? Again, that comes down to, our mushroom greenhouses are prolific. We are doing incredibly well out of those. Although our small one still has only got 1 of those. That's interesting, because in a month we got 1 of those. Kind of run out. That's curious. This is all part of the testing, it's all part of the checking, because if something has gone wrong somewhere, I need to work out why. Oyster mushrooms on 749, so we're not far off a pallet. But it's interesting that we got 1 pallet of the enoki. Sorry. 1 pallet of the enoki after a month. The next month has gone by and we haven't. We haven't got a second, but we should be getting another one soon. Anyway. It's, like I say, you can see for yourself. You can see what's been produced. You can see how many months we've gone by. So we have gone by. So 1 more month. Let's see if we get anything out of the small ones. Let's see if we get anything out of the small production for kimchi. I will see you in July. Success, ladies and gents. So, that's curious. What are we looking on here? Oh, 989. I would say our greenhouse over there has got one of each pallet. So the small greenhouses now into the next month have produced something. I'm thinking, why has that one got 4 and this one hasn't? They were set off, I suppose this one was set off maybe a little bit later than that one, but not by very much. But that is sitting on 989 litres of spring onion and Napa cabbage. So in probably the next hour or so, maybe 2, we'll get another pallet of each. So our small ones have now produced, and what is more exciting, we've got loads and loads of rice sapling pallets, which is very cool for planting of rice. Everything else has kept hammering out its products, no problem at all. Tons of mushrooms, tons of everything else. But in 1 month, with the right stuff in there, I have got in our small production, we have got a pallet of kimchi. So whilst it is 10 times slower, it still only took a month to get a pallet, which is very cool. So it just goes to show, and it hasn't actually used that much. It's curious. It hasn't used much of it, any of it. I thought it would use far more than that. I suppose because the recipe's less, and the other recipe on the other one's 10 times more, you're getting 10 times more pallets out, so yes, it will have used far more ingredients. But we have got a pallet of kimchi on the smaller production. I'm glad I checked that, because like I said, I think I would have done that a disservice. And I don't want people to think I'm not using the small productions because they're not quick enough, I'm not going to get anything out of them. At 36 grand in a month, with the right stuff in there, I got out what I needed to, or what I was aiming to get out of it. This one round here, I didn't put any more Napa cabbage in this one, so this is probably dried up. Yeah, I think they stopped where it was, but you know, it's all worked out really well. So on that, which is a happier outcome, I wasn't sure how that was all going to pan out, but it's worked out just how it needed to. That's my guide to look at the new greenhouses, the new products, the new onward productions for greenhouses on Farming Simulator 25. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.